Hey team, welcome to another lockdown edition of Pies with Parallaxx. I'm here today with Ben Isdale, our training manager here at Parallaxx. He looks after the whole training side of the business, and we're going to talk about training. Funnily enough, Ben's got many years of experience as an on-road STMS, a trainer, an auditor, and much more. He joined the team, the Parallaxx team, in 2018, and he's brought his unique experience into creating the best training systems and services that he can.
Well, yep, you know what they say. Those who can't do, teach.
So, so as a starting point, can you talk me through the process that each candidate will go through when they're training with us?
Yeah, for sure. That's a tricky one because every candidate's needs are different. So we generally start off with a lot of questions. So, what's your role? What do you do that requires traffic management training? What training do you currently have? Where do you want to get to? Is the training mandated? And if not, do you actually require it? The training pathway can be quite confusing and tricky to navigate. So we always figure out exactly what the candidate actually needs before we go any further. I've often talked people out of training because they genuinely didn't need it. Training pathways are typically broken up into three categories. So one, practical. These are people who are physically involved in the delivery of on-road traffic management. Two, theoretical. People who need knowledge but don't actually take charge of work sites. And three, refreshers. So people who just need to update their knowledge every 3 years and stay current in the warrant system. Training is generally a 1 or 2 day workshop. And then if you're going to be involved in the practical side, there's a practical assessment too. And that's organized one-on-one with the candidate.
Sweet. So with like the ongoing situation with COVID and stuff, and the current lockdowns that we're having, we obviously can't do in-person training. Can we do remote training as well?
Yeah, so we've taken the initiative to set up an e-learning platform to help online training. Waka Kotahi have allowed us to deliver TMO, inspector theory only, and refresher workshops remotely. And then we can also do general worker and TTM worker theory online, which are self-paced. So you can just do those whenever you want. We've had a lot of success with this, and it basically enables anyone from anywhere in New Zealand to easily access training. So it doesn't matter if you're in a region where you can't find a workshop or can't access one or there's no trainers. You can do a lot of them online now, which is really beneficial. Now, in saying that, online training isn't for everyone. You need to have access to a laptop or computer and have basic computer skills, as well as an appropriate place to sit down and do the training where you're not going to be disturbed.
Okay. So if I was a manager of at a company and had a number of candidates to get through a series of training courses, what kind of support could you provide for me in that kind of space, like an oversight kind of thing?
Well, Andy, have I got the solution for you? So we've spent the last year and a bit developing in-house a purpose-built training and assessment system. It's like a combination of a learning management system and an e-learning platform all rolled into one, and it's bespoke to the traffic management industry. What it enables is organizations to manage the TTM warrants of their entire workforce, and it puts everything in one place. So from workshop registration, certificates of completion, documents, you can monitor your trainees' progress, so you can see where they're up to. You can upload assessment paperwork, all of the verifications and evidence collection, everything just kind of rolled into one system. You can do things like assign roles within your organization. So if you've got mentors and assessors, you can manage all your own verifications, all that annoying paperwork in the system. It's also set up to deal with the unit standards. So it spits out a unit standard at the end. So there's no problem with moderation or anything like that.
Okay, cool. And with the new training and competency model, like there's a much greater need for assessments and things, like on the road assessments, with the different courses. So I assume that this is something that you do as well.
Yeah, honestly, like we've got assessments flooding in. So now that assessments
Mm.
required on road categories A, B, and C rather than just level two and three, there's a huge demand. I mean, thankfully, we've got a lot of assessors at Parallaxx. We've got 8 assessors in Auckland, and then we've got 2 in the lower North Island who can all assess all road categories. The assessments also all go through our training system. So you as a manager can see the assessor's feedback. You can download your trainee certificate of evidence. You can upload the TMP and the on-site record. You don't have to email it through. It's all in one place.
Cool. And once that whole training process is done and the candidates they're out there working on the road, what can we actually do, or what can companies do, I should say, to help verify that their team are they're complying with the COPTIM requirements and just generally maintaining their competency?
One word: audits. A
Yeah.
former manager once said to me, "You are only as good as your last closure," and that's actually stuck with me for a long time. What I've found over the years is that auditing is extremely beneficial for maintaining safety, compliance, and traffic management that's of a high standard. There is a direct correlation between the frequency of audits and the standard of traffic management delivered by an organization. There's no doubt about it. Unfortunately, most of our audit work is driven through non-compliance, so where organizations are required to do follow-up audits after a poor result. I mean, we can definitely help with like stop works orders and uplifts and follow-up audits, but my main suggestion would be to everyone is to audit as much as your budget allows because it genuinely works.
Mm. So we talked about a bit about the training and competency model before, and I realise that it's a big challenge for a lot of people to understand what's needed, and to navigate and know where they stand. I assume that you can help in that space as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely tricky. It's one of those things that, if you're not living and breathing it every day, it seems really, really difficult, but it's actually not. It's kind of like, why we've got accountants. Um, so, so what I would say to anyone wanting to know more about the TNC model is to go and do an STMS refresher. The workshop covers the TNC model content really well. Alternatively, you could just go to the Waka Kotahi website. They've got the full model. You can download it there. And then we've also written a bunch of blogs or blog posts which outline the TNC model in as easy to understand language as possible. So you can just go to our website for those. And then, yeah, I mean, if you've got a number of people in your organization who need training, just give us a call and we can walk you through it and make sure that you genuinely understand and actually get the right training that you need. I've done a lot of one-on-one sessions as well, or like, company group sessions on the model. So I could just come in or we could do a Teams call and take you through it. I can literally talk for hours on it.
Cool, man. Well, look, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to have a chat to me about this, and hopefully it's helped a few people to understand a bit more about those services that we do provide and how we can help people. So yeah, thanks, man. I really appreciate
Yeah, no worries. Can I eat my pie now?
it.